Hello, friends. This is Dark Scream, and today we have history in the making because Steve Danuser actually made a blue post on the Blizzard forums. Now, I know what you're thinking. A Blizzard employee makes blue posts on the forums all the time. Actually, that is not true in the case of Steve Danuser. According to this, he just created his account. I don't know if perhaps he had to recreate it, but it only shows he's made 3 posts on the Battle.net forums, at least the current version of them. And he's gone ahead and posted a response to the community concerns about the time skip that seems to be happening in the Dragonflight Alpha. So let's take a look. Hello, friends. Geez, he's been watching my videos. Hello, friends. I wanted to take a moment to address the topic of time passage between Shadowlands and Dragonflight. There has always been some amount of time passing between expansions. Yeah, the problem is, it's always been some amount of time and we never actually know how much time has passed, right? So there's always been some amount of time passing between expansions, though it rarely has it been called out in-game. We maintain an internal timeline of what year each expansion begins, and the gap between them has been 1 year, as with earlier expansions, or 2 years, as with most of the later ones. But NPCs in the world don't talk about how the Burning Crusade took place in the year 26, after the Dark Portal opened, or how we rediscovered Pandaria in the year 30. When you look back at the Warcraft timeline, one of the things you'll notice is that a lot of massive, world-changing events were tightly clustered together. This is especially true for WoW, which since launch has seen a multitude of invasions and catastrophes back-to-back in the chronology, with Shadowlands representing the closing of one book in the Warcraft saga. As we mentioned in interviews around the release of our Eternity's End update, felt like an opportunity to give Azeroth and its inhabitants a bit of breathing room before Dragonflight ushers in the start of our next major storyline. Shadowlands began in the year 35 after the opening of the Dark Portal, and Dragonflight will begin in the year 40. Given that the events of Shadowlands took place over the course of 2 years, that leaves a few additional years that we are fast-forwarding through. Our purpose here is not to have a litany of events take place outside the game that you need to read about in a novel or other media to understand the state of the world. The goal of the fast forward is to provide the people of Azeroth with a slice of normal life without a major threat looming over their heads. When our heroes return from the realms of death, you can imagine them easing back into their lives and duties without an immediate crisis to address or an enemy to fight. With the Alliance and Horde honoring the truce signed after the Fourth War, the average Azerothian citizen will be able to enjoy a time of stability and reflection. That said, we plan to offer a digital short story on our website that details one particularly joyous occasion which has been referenced in the alpha build. It's gonna be a fun and charming read, but it won't be necessary in order to understand the events of Dragonflight. Besides stretching out the WoW timeline a bit, another benefit of this fast forward is that it will let our younger characters get a little older, allowing some of them to take a larger role in future storylines. Yet not so much time will be passing that you'd expect characters who are already adults to look significantly different. As for changes to the world that have been discussed or foreshadowed, such as the resettlement of Gilneas, those will not be happening during the fast forward. As cool as it is to show locations and populations evolving because of the story progression, we want events of this importance to be in-game questing that our players experience for themselves, as with the reclaiming of the Ruins of Lordaeron in the 9.2.5 update, rather than having it happen off-camera. For your player characters, it has always been left to your own interpretation how much time had passed when they log in after the arrival of a major update or new expansion. Dragonflight is no exception. You are free to imagine what your characters have been doing in that time of respite as you look forward to the arrival of the Dragonflight pre-patch. Hopefully this post clears up any confusion about the timeline and explains our goals for having a few more years pass than we normally would. Steve Danuser, narrative lead. Did he man up? Did Steve Danuser just man up? I can say I did not expect this, that's for sure. Steve was very forward and open here about a lot of the concerns the community has about the story. He took ownership of not everything, but a lot of the worries about what is coming in Dragonflight and how things are going to be handled with this time skip. While it doesn't excuse every sin Blizzard has committed with the story over the last few years, I'm honestly impressed that he's come forward and gone ahead and made this post. Steve Danuser does not normally put himself in front of the community in the forums. I'm very interested to hear what you think about this. Do you trust that the Dragonflight story is gonna be better? Have they learned the lessons they needed to from the last few expansions? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this coverage, smash that like button. Again, my name is Darkscream. See you next time. Peace!